So will we not know the outcome of Washington State's delegates until June?
Well, I can tell you right now, Washington State has 119 delegates. We will have 890 coming out of the precincts, just Whatcom County. So you can see that it gets whittled down pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. So that's 119 pledged delegates that come to the convention from counties all over the state. And then there are PLEOs and at-large delegates, but we won't have probably more than 160 delegates from the state of Washington. Yes?
Could you just repeat the numbers again?
Well, I know that we have 119 coming from the counties.
That'll be our total Washington
Yes.
County delegates.
Yes.
Now, what does the number 160 represent?
Well, because at the convention, at the state convention, you can run as an at-large delegate if you didn't make it through the rest of the process. You can put your hat in and run as an at-large delegate or as a PLEO, and a PLEO is a party leader, elected party leader. So, does all that make sense? Okay. So we want you to build some interest in local party activities because after all, this is a Democratic Party caucus. So we're going to follow up with 2 activities in April to keep people connected. One is a political comedy event at the Upfront Theater, and there'll be details in your packet about that so that you can talk to people about it. There'll be a political karaoke event, speak out, something like that. It's not going to be at the Wild Buffalo. It's probably going to be at Chucknut Brewery in the back outside. So you'll have the specifics. We're still working stuff out. And our theme for this year is exploring the idea of making government work for you. Because one of the things that we found is that there's a lot of talk that the Republicans put out there about government's not working and complaints about that. And so we're going to focus a little bit this year on infrastructure. What's happening with our infrastructure and how does our infrastructure get paid for? So we'll have some programs this year about that. Solicit donations to cover the cost of caucuses and campaign. Please do not pass the hat. We will have envelopes for you, and we will ask you to ask people, if they can, to give us a $10 donation, which will give them a membership for a year. And will also, any new member that donates, their name will go into a hat, and then I'm going to pull 2 names that'll get free tickets to the comedy event of the new members.
At each site location?
No, total.
Total.
Yeah, yeah. So just a little fun thing to do. So you can say these, and I think as we go on to our next page, number 9, our local Democratic Party has borne the cost of putting these caucuses on, so your donations are much needed. Please use the envelope for your donations, and it will support our ambitious plans for the 2016 campaign. Also, we'll have a sign-in sheet for credentials, platform, and rules committee for the convention. So if anyone's interested, they can sign up at the table. Don?
Yes, it's very important that they do use an envelope when they make the donations on that. Because we need to track that, and the treasurer says.
Yeah.
What if you're a large corporation? Can you just throw it in the jar?
Yeah, I guess you can do it.
They do whatever they want.
Catherine,
Yes.
did you say that there would be 890 delegates from the state?
No, from the county.
I mean, from the state altogether?
No,
No?
from the county.
800, okay.
90 after the precinct caucuses.
Yeah. 100. They'll get whittled down to 119.
Yes,
That's what I thought
it
you said.
will. So then, if at this time that I didn't put in these notes, I'm contacting the campaigns to find out, rather than having somebody at each precinct to talk about their candidate, which is not necessary, because if you're running for delegate, you should be able to talk about your candidate in your speech. So each location will have the opportunity during this first half hour to have a person up there speaking about their candidate. So the campaigns are going to be notified that there are 31 locations. You need to let me know who that person is that's going to speak at that location. Obviously, you want it to be somebody whose precinct is there, because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't be able to participate. Okay? So at 10:30, that ends. No matter how far you are in the process, it ends. It stops there.
Now, when you say it, you mean the site leader quits talking.
That's right. Site leader quits talking, because then we're turning it over to the separate precincts. So your precinct leader is going to call the precinct to order at 10:30. I call precinct 215 to order for allocation and election of delegates, alternates to the 2000 Whatcom County Convention and legislative district caucuses. And sign-in will continue, but they're going to be only in the final tally. You gather up all the sheets, come off the table, and then you have to, number 10, designate or elect an official precinct chair. Now, these caucuses were set up so that if there was no leader, which there will be precincts with no leader, they can pick up this packet and walk through it, follow the instructions, and do what needs to be done. So, if you were a PCO, an elected or appointed PCO prior to January of this year, you're automatically the precinct caucus chair. And then you would say, as the precinct committee officer for this precinct, I will chair the caucus. If you are not a PCO, you want to ask the signed-in people to elect from the people that are there. Now, what you're going to say, and we're going to put some more language in there, is that I have volunteered to be the precinct caucus leader and have attended trainings. Is there anyone else who wishes to volunteer? And then you're going to have a hand vote. If somebody else wants to volunteer, but make sure you say, I have been trained. I know what I'm doing.
Those are two different things.
Yeah,
Are you saying that this is for PCOs to do this as well? Or
No.
Just the appointed people?
no, just the people who have volunteered to step up to lead the caucus.
Who is that? Just some nebulous person who's not a PCO's gonna...
Just walk?
Absolutely. We have 62 open precincts, and we have a lot of volunteers here who stepped up to lead their caucus.
But
Yes,
some of them will know ahead of time that they were,
absolutely.
asked to
We've
do
got a
it.
whole list of people.
and some of them will come in and they'll be appointed at that moment, or choose to be at that
Yeah.
moment.
I was just going to say, Roger and I have volunteered to lead our precinct.
Yeah,
We're leaders, we're not PCOs.
right, right. Yes.
How many precincts don't have someone that's volunteered already?
I can't tell you that off the top of my head. Like I said, we have a whole Google Doc that we're tracking all the volunteers for all the different stuff. But you can call the office to find out if your precinct doesn't have anybody, and they can tell you that.
I volunteered for ours, I'm just curious about.
What else? Yeah, no, I was
Spread the
saying
word.
earlier, and I apologize about the time, please call the office. Find out how many people have volunteered to work at your precinct with you. Get their names, yeah.